it's in Comitatum, and today I want to show off the C130J mod by Theebu. I think that's how you say that. I will link to it in the description below. But I'm on a local server, and I've gone ahead and placed some assets here at the main airport, and just want to show you how awesome this mod is. Now, we're not quite up to adopting this as a clan. One of the things that the admins of the Dogs of the State do is we test mods, and those that are incredibly good quality, which this one really is, we tend to adopt. The only thing that's stopping us is there is not an armed variant of this with a big cannon coming out the side. So this plane is big, very massive. What a beauty. Just take her in. There's two of them here. I put in a second one down there because there's two variants that come with this mod, and if you get it all installed, there's nothing stopping you from placing these via MCC. In fact, let me show you in the back. The two variants are a cargo version and a transport version. They have a scriptable animated ramp. You can just click and open it. And the other thing that's really cool about these is when the ramp is fully open and the vehicle is stationary, you can walk inside of it, which you can't actually do with the Mohawk helicopter. The transport version is like this, only it's got seats inside and support beams here in the middle, right along in there. So yeah, about the only thing that this is missing so far is the variant where they would have the huge gun coming out the side, probably be right there. I haven't looked at pictures, I'm not sure, but yeah, we want the version with the huge gun, so we can have our friends 5 or 6 clicks up in the sky giving us support. So, let's take off with this thing. Like I said, I'm running this on a local server because I want to be able to show you some different angles of it while I fly. On the Dogs of the State server, to make things a little more realistic and immersive, we keep players from using third-person view. Very nicely textured interior. Better close the ramp before I take off so I don't rip it off. And this thing is a giant flying cow. You need a huge runway to get it off the ground. What I'm going to do for the remainder of this video, because I don't want it to go too long, is I'm going to take off, do a gentle U-turn, and see if I can't land at the salt flats. It might take a couple of takes. I will cut in the best and most successful one. We have takeoff. Some of the other things to say about this mod, and the reason why we're not adopting it yet, but we're keeping a very eager eye on it. It's got a couple bugs. You don't always get the context menu action to put the gear up. And as you can see, the gear themselves are the size of a small car. Let's do some crazy things that this plane should be able to do. You can already see that I'm starting to lose aerodynamics over my wings. Some of our other clan members are really into helicopters. I happen to be into planes. I'm a huge fan of other games like War Thunder. though we often make fun of the flight model that is or is lacking in Arma 3. Let me get my bearings here. And I often do, well, since we do this on the main server, fly from cockpits. I think it's fun and realistic and much more, to use that $10 word, immersive. Here I am in the mission generator, just bumping my render settings up. Like I said, we're gonna come around and try and land at the salt flats. Since that might take a while, because like I said, this is a big metal flying cow with a top speed of 400 kilometers if you're lucky, then it's going to take us a while to go the 11 kilometers out to the salt flats. So I'm going to cut the video here. Okay, we're back. We're about 5 kilometers out. I have been able to push it by keeping my wings as level as possible up to about 489 kilometers. And yeah, you'll see that there's the salt flats. We may be coming in way too fast to land properly. Some of the other things that don't work, you'll notice that the kind of compass ball, I'm not sure what that's called, artificial horizon line, it does adjust for when I turn, but it doesn't actually show me my current pitch, just my roll, which is a big bummer when you're much higher up. You got to turn your render settings up. It also helps to have that when you're coming in for a landing, so you can have a nice shallow approach. May have to do a U-turn. Gonna vent off some of this speed as well. Might be venting it off a little too fast. This is not what they intended. And I need to lose some altitude. See if I can do that without eating the earth. Looks like I'll have to descend and do yet another U-turn. The salt flats are big. If you were flying the AAF jet, you'd probably have no problem. Even the F-18 likes to stop on a dime, but this thing is huge. So, and I've never successfully landed it, but then again, I've only been playing with the mod as about 10 minutes before I decided to start recording this, so yeah. At this point, I'm just kind of falling out of the sky. I think I slowed down way. Well, I'm sure that is not what I intended to do. And you'll see that I landed about 100 yards from the salt flats. But that technically did constitute a landing. The 2 other times I tried this, I blew up. There's actually no hull damage. Let's shut the engines off and give it one walk around and see if it's dented or dinged anywhere. Well, it seems like I did hurt myself. And it did the texture swap, so it's not in great condition. But what do they say? Anyone that you walk away from, right? So yeah, this is the C130J mod. We're going to be keeping an eye on this. It's definitely really good quality now. Just a few more fixes that it'll need probably in a couple weeks. This is one of those mods that's actually being worked on, and yeah, when it's up to snuff, we'll be flying the big blue skies and dropping cargo and paratroopers on enemy positions. Alright guys, I didn't think that I would be back, but I've decided to bring in a fellow clanmate Ochoa here. He doesn't normally fly, but he's going to, because I wanted to show you, for the sake of immersion, the butt end of what the transport plane looked like, combined with what it's like to ride in the back while it's flying, because I know that that's an exciting thing, to be in the back of the Mohawk and flying to an op, and so yeah, you can even get up in there and walk in the back of this thing normally. I read online you sometimes have to push the V key to get over the initial little hump. But yeah, you can walk in the back of this, and this is what it looks like. I imagine going to mission, staring dumbly at your fellow soldier. I guess there aren't windows to look out, but that's because it seems to be this middle section is padded with probably structural reinforcements for the wings just to keep the whole damn thing together. Like I said,
no sit option, sadly.
Yeah, I think you gotta just choose to ride in the back. The other thing that the author said is he's going to be adding more points for you to choose to occupy the plane, because there were people on the forum wanting to be able to position themselves holding onto the rail, looking out the door while it's flying, or being in charge of, at least with some of the other scripts that are out there, queuing up cargo to get shoved out the ass end. So, well, I'm gonna mount up, and how about we get flying? Alright, so here we are in the back. Ochoa is going to close the back ramp, and we are going to take off. You can see there's not much to look at while you're back here. I can imagine headed to a mission and just staring at your fellow brothers in arms. It's not like it has a glass bottom, so there's not much to see. I kind of have to crane my head just to see out, look over my shoulder just to see out this little port here. With the proper scripts, and I'll go ahead and link to one in the description that we're going to be using on our main server come the next couple days, you'll actually be able to throw yourselves out of this along with cargo out of the cargo version. And I'm not sure if this one will hold a little amount of cargo. It looks like there's enough room that you could store a quad bike or something in here. So that will be quite nice to have that function. Like I said, this is a really slick plane. Pretty good quality textures, high functionality. There's just a couple bugs, that is the landing gear aren't able to be put up, and the main axial tilt ball, whatever that's called in the cockpit, does not read for tilt. It does for roll. Until we get a version, or until we can get a version that also has the guns, I don't know that we'll adopt this. We'll probably keep using the Mohawk, but I love really big things. The Nimitz was impressive to see from afar. This is impressive, and we definitely want this. We're waiting for one more layer of polish to be put on, but I wanted you guys to see this up front, see that we're considering adopting this. Yeah, I gotta say, Ochoa normally doesn't fly. He's just learning how to fly helicopters. He doesn't normally fly planes. If you're gonna start banking like that, we're gonna need a lot more height. But I have opened the ass end now, and you have a much better view out the back. So yeah, this is nice. Thank you for joining me. I hope it was mildly entertaining. I'm in Comitatum with the Dogs of the State. It was good to have you. Be well.